You can't approve Kinder Morgan or any other pipeline for that matter right now because Stephen Harper has gutted the environmental legislation that allowed the public to see if there had been a thorough, complete, credible evaluation and assessment of the project. That's not the case anymore. But we would, in our case, bring in overarching sustainable development legislation. We'd make sure that we would put back a system that Canadians could have confidence in. And like I did when I was the provincial minister of the environment, I would make sure it was enforced rigorously. You see, the problems in Canada on these big projects didn't start on Conservative watch. Going back decades now, we've seen that there's been legislation on the books, but it was never enforced. I guess the best mirror of that was the signature of the Kyoto Protocol. Stephen Harper shamefully made us the only country in the world to withdraw from Kyoto. The Liberals signed Kyoto, which on the face of it looked pretty good, but they eventually admitted that they had no plan. We would be strong stewards of the environment. We would bring in overarching sustainable legislation that we would enforce. In Quebec, I went so far as to propose, and it was eventually adopted unanimously, that we amend the Quebec Charter of Rights to include the right to live in a clean environment. And one of the elements of sustainable development is polluter pay. It has to be enforced. User pay. You have to make sure that you internalize the environmental costs, and you have to make sure the public's on side. Well, the public's not on side anymore because they don't trust the system that Mr. Harper's put in place.